The Yankees appear to be making a massive move as none other than Nestor Cortes will be back on the team in the playoff roster, most likely, according to Aaron Boone. And we're going to break this down. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Yankees Digest. It's Chris here. And guys, real quick before we jump into the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a ton. And we're back. We're back on the Yankees grind. You'll be seeing more of me over the next few weeks. But guys, the New York Yankees, they did it! Back in the World Series once again after 15 years. Last time this happened, I was 8 years old. I am so excited. And in the process, there's been a lot of questions of who is going to be on that World Series roster. Who is going to be there, both on the pitching side, on the hitting side? Who are they going to run with this team? And Aaron Boone was asked a bit about this and kind of broke down this and mentioned, hey, here's the deal. There's a decent chance that Nestor Cortes will be on the Yankees World Series roster. And I love this. I love this. The Yankees obviously have struggled to find left-handed pitchers throughout the season. And yet it doesn't matter because, well, there's 4 more games away from the Yankees getting number 28. Obviously against the Dodgers. So that's going to be some trouble. But we all know that. We don't have to talk about that. We all know. We all know the Yankees are going to win anyway. But as mentioned, here's the deal, guys. Nestor, solid year for the team as a main starter. 30 of his 31 games he did start with a win-loss record that was negative, but also the Yankees just had a strange season that somehow did end up leading exactly right to the World Series. They got hot at the right time. 3.77 ERA from Nestor Cortes. His ERA plus is a 109. Very average numbers from a guy who you really want at the end of your pitching rotation, and he's not in the Yankees' starting pitching rotation for the playoffs. That's essentially been confirmed by ESPN, as Cortes' availability has predicated on him emerging healthy from a live bullpen session on Tuesday. The left-hander threw 20-pitch live bullpen session in Cleveland before Game 5 of the American League Championship Series. The Yankees beat the Guardians that night to win their first pennant, a series they won in 5 games and absolutely dominated. And they gave Cortes an opportunity to contribute. Now, it's also noted that Cortes finished second on the club with 174 innings pitched. Now, he also, if he returns for the World Series, as mentioned, it's going to be as a reliever, which would have been his role for the postseason before the injury regardless, since teams only need 4 starters for a 7-game playoff series. And the Yankees have decided to go with Gerrit Cole, Carlos Rodon, Clark Schmidt, and Luis Gil in their rotation, which honestly, if you ask me, is the absolute right rotation for them to do. But there's even more, as Cortes would give the Yankees another reliable left-hander after Tim Hill pitched in all 5 ALCS games. He could also potentially give the Yankees some length out of the bullpen because he could pitch multiple innings as he is a starter, though Cortes' workload could be limited coming off the injury. Now, guys, we all know that the Yankees don't have too many left-handers, and we know that it hasn't really affected them too much this far. But it is important to go out there and have a guy who is a left-handed pitcher because it's just a different look, especially when you go to the bullpen in certain games. Whether the Yankees are up by a few runs or down by a few runs, you can put Cortes in and have him eat 3 to 4 innings of baseball. And that's going to be really helpful because the only other left-hander the Yankees have is Tim Hill. And Tim Hill's been good, don't get me wrong. That's why they pitched him all 5 games. But you don't want to overuse him and then at the wrong time he gives up a home run or something like that. That would obviously be the nightmare scenario. So bringing on Nestor just makes a ton of sense. Now also it's curious to see how the Yankees are going to run this starting rotation. It would not shock me if the Yankees plan on pitching Gerrit Cole games 1, 4, and 7. I absolutely think they should. Look, you're in the World Series, doesn't matter. He could rest over the offseason. If the Yankees win the World Series and burn Gerrit Cole a little bit in the process, it's worth it. They brought Gerrit Cole in, 5 years ago to win a World Series with them? This is his 4th year with the Yankees? Yeah, it's his 4th season with the Yankees. Or is it his 5th? He's been here a while now. Look, and Cole and the Yankees have not won a World Series. The team that he left for the Yankees, the Houston Astros, have won a World Series. So now, it's gut check time. You made the World Series. Gerrit Cole's not young. This is your moment. You have to use Gerrit Cole as much as you can, and Cole is going to be down for that. You know Gerrit Cole is going to be cool with going out there and being overused in the World Series for whatever it takes to win this thing. Now, At the same time, you have Rodon, who's been solid. You have some guys out there. You have another starter like Marcus Stroman in the bullpen who you can use for an extended period of time, like Nestor, especially if Nestor just doesn't appear to be ready because of injury. There's a lot that the Yankees could do when it comes to pitching. Now, I imagine Heel will only pitch one game in the World Series, and Schmidt, it's a good question. I imagine their plan most likely is Cole 3 games in 1-4-7, Rodon in games 2 in either game 5 or 6, and then Clark, Schmidt, and Luis Heel fill in the gaps in between that for 1 or 2 outings out of them, depending on who does well in their first start in the World Series, because neither of them have ever been there before, understandably, because they've only been on the Yankees, or really only been on the Yankees at all. So I'm so excited for this World Series. It's really hard to stay on track with this video right now, because, I mean, they're back, and it's a thrilling feeling to finally see them in the World Series once again. It's been one of the longest droughts they've ever had of not only not making the World Series, but winning a World Series in these 15 years. I understand to most teams that's not a drought, but if you're a Yankees fan, you know darn well that this is a drought, that the Yankees have, it's been a while, and they have to go out there and win this. Like, you have to use your pitching accordingly, and getting another left-hander like Luis Heel, like Nestor Cortes, is going to help so much for this team. It just gives you more versatility, and baseball's become a much more versatile game over the last few years. You see the rise of utility players going up, and I think Oswaldo Cabrera should be there on the team, which I imagine he will be. Along with on the bench, you definitely want Jason Dominguez. You want John Birdie and the ability for him to get out there and run and be a utility fielder and all that. And probably not Trent Grisham, because you do have Oswaldo as it is, so you don't and Dominguez, so you don't need Grisham. You fill out the rest of that lineup. I mean, they are on fire right now. So it comes down to pitching. I mean, the bullpen screwed it up, obviously, when it came to the one game they lost in the ALCS, when, obviously, Judge hits the home run off Clase, hits the 2-run shot, ties the game. Then Stanton hits the home run off Clase and gives them the lead. And then, obviously, things didn't go so well after that. But they then figured it out, won the next game. It was all good. Just a little detour led by Big Christmas. But that's okay, man. It's okay because the Yankees made it back. So that's what matters. And what also matters is that you guys subscribe to this darn channel, because I see the views. I see that it's dying out a little. We're coming back with a vengeance. This World Series, this offseason, Yankees Digest will be back in full swing. I took a while off to focus on some other channels, such as Knicks Digest and Jets Digest. If you're not subscribed to those, and you are a New York Knicks and a New York Jets fan, make sure to subscribe to both of those. I have a great live show with my Jets Digest co-host, Matt. That's actually on Knicks Digest, funnily enough. We just have more subscribers on that channel, I'm not going to lie to you. But, guys, it's a great time. It's called Knicks Digest Happy Hour every Friday at 6 p.m. Make sure to tune in for that, just for some good laughs, some good talks about sports, and just Matt and I kind of just talking about the things we love in sports. So it's a great time. You guys don't want to miss out. Guys, have a great day. Go Yankees. We are so back.